What are sentencing guidelines in court? Imagine you are in a courtroom and a judge is about to decide how long someone should stay in prison. How does the judge figure out the right amount of time? That's where sentencing guidelines come into play. They are like a rule book that helps judges decide fair and consistent punishments for different crimes. These guidelines are based on two main things: how serious the crime was and the criminal history of the person involved. Sentencing guidelines were created to make sure similar crimes get similar punishments, no matter which judge or court is involved. This helps prevent unfair differences in sentencing. The United States government set up the federal sentencing guidelines in 1987 through the Sentencing Reform Act. Many states also have their own guidelines to keep things fair at the state level. The way these guidelines work is similar to a scoring system. First, the judge looks at what crime was committed and finds the matching guideline section. Then, the judge assigns an offense level from 1 to 43, with 1 being a minor crime and 43 being a very serious, violent crime. Next, the judge considers specific details of the case, like if a weapon was used or if the victim was harmed badly. They also look at the defendant's criminal record. All these factors help the judge calculate a sentencing range, which is like a suggested minimum and maximum time in prison. The judge then uses this range to decide the final sentence. During the process, the judge reviews a report about the defendant's background, hears from victims and the defendant, and explains the reasons for the sentence in court. If the judge wants to go outside the recommended range, they must give a clear explanation. This keeps the process transparent and fair. In 2005, the Supreme Court ruled that federal sentencing guidelines are only advisory, not mandatory. This means judges can choose to go outside the guidelines if they have good reasons. They must explain why they are doing so, and higher courts will review if the sentence is reasonable. In real courtrooms, these guidelines help keep sentencing consistent and predictable. They also influence plea deals and how prosecutors and defendants plan their cases. Some places use fixed sentences based on the guidelines, so everyone knows roughly how long they might serve. Others allow more flexibility. Besides prison time, guidelines can recommend probation, fines, or paying restitution to victims. Judges consider all these options when making a final decision.